What's up? How you doing? Beautiful night tonight. Beautiful night. Late. It's late. Had dinner. And now I'm just kicking back. The end of the day. Nice beverage here, water. Good book. I don't want to give away the ending, but good book. So we got some items here I'm going to talk about. First is, see that wrench. That's a wrench you need when you're working on the railroad, freight trains. Went to the desert today. Did a little bit of walking there with my wrench. This is real, it's not plastic. Solid steel. 24-inch wrench, crescent wrench. Beautiful. You never know when you're going to need that. You never know. So, today very excited. I was very excited because I got a brand new axe. Brand new axe. Council Tool Company. USA since 1886. Beautiful axe. Just the right length. Comes with a nice leather sheath, thick leather, right? Also made in USA. As they say, right out of the box, sharp. Look at that. Beautiful. Hickory handle. Good ergonomics. Feels great in the hand. So I was looking at another axe company and I was going back and forth, and then I decided on this one because got some tunes there. Because of the steel sold me. 5160, not 5150. That's the Nut House or Van Halen's place. But this is made from 5160 hardened steel, and grab it, you can tell. You feel like it's a railroad track steel, but it's not. But anyway, it's very, very hard steel, very durable, holds the edge, and I'm very glad I got this axe. Like I said, it's perfect. But you put it in the backpack after you cut your ear off by accident. But look at that. Beautiful work. I commend Council Tool Company, and they've been around a long time. I guess they supply tools to the fire departments, axes and things like that. But I bought it to chop up logs, split them, and, you know, cut trees down too if I have to. A little bit needs breaking in because it's still a little bit tight. Put that over here. That did it. Get that. Beautiful. I love sheaths that are made from thick leather, and you can tell quality because there's other sheaths you know they're made. It says leather, but when you grab onto it, it feels like vinyl. So that'll come in handy. Bought a yo-yo today. I don't know why, but I'm a big fan of yo-yos. Not the musician, I like that too, But I don't know, I like yo-yos. It says ages 6 and up, I qualify. And this is a pro, authentic pro yo-yo. I don't know, something about it brings me back to the old days when we lived in a simpler time playing simpler things like Relivio, which nobody plays anymore. Also, I bought Bazooka gum. I love this stuff. Once again, brings me back to my youth. I used to love reading the comics in this gum. And back then, if you collected, I don't know what it was, 20, 30, 40, 50 of these, or 100, whatever it was, plus shipping and handling, they would send you a t-shirt or a sweater, or a sweatshirt, not a sweater, like your grandfather. You gotta send away for a sweater. Look at that. That familiar smell. Problem with old gum, I mean gum from the old days, not old gum, but is that tastes great, but the flavor lasts for like 5 minutes, then out it goes and another piece goes in. So I went into the record store today. I'm always in the record store, always, from when I was that big. I love going to the record store. So today I was in there, and told the story before, but when the Stormfront album came out, I wanted to, because I was a huge fan of Billy Joel. Everybody knows that. Now I'm an average fan, but back then I was crazy big fan. So I had second row seats, second row tickets. And I said, you know what? I got to meet this guy somehow. I want to talk to him, you know, I want to talk to him. So I thought about it, and I said, I have a very rare album of his. What about if I use that as an eye catcher, like eye candy, and I put my phone number and my name inside the album, right inside. And then when I go to the concert from the second row, I will, like a frisbee, throw the album, and hopefully it lands on the stage safely and doesn't hit anybody. And then Billy Joel will eventually go in the back and look at this and say, whoa, where'd this guy find this? I don't remember making this even, or something like that. And then he would open it up, and there would be my name and my phone number, and this is what I was thinking. And then he would call me up. Like the next day, I remember it was Saturday, so I stayed home on purpose. And back then we didn't have caller ID or any of that stuff, or cell phones to be able to leave, and somebody calls you, wherever you are, they would get you. You had to be home. So I stayed home all day thinking that he was going to call me. I thought he was going to open this up and say, oh, I'm going to call this guy up. I'm going to thank him for giving me this album. So anyway, stayed home all day. Every time the phone would ring, my mother would pick up. I expected her to say, oh, wait a minute, he's right here. And then it would be hello, and it'd be like, hi, it's Billy Joel. Didn't happen. The next day, it didn't happen at all. Here we are, you know, like what, 35 years later, 34, around there. Still nothing happened. So after a while, I started thinking about it. I shouldn't have done that. I missed that album, you know, and was always looking for it. I didn't want like a reissued one, you know, a new one that somebody printed, or a new CD version of it. I don't want that. I wanted the old one that came out in the 60s. Couldn't find it. Well, today I was in the record store, and the very album, or a copy of the very album that I threw up on the stage, I found today. And here it is. Look at that. Look at that. Got Billy Joel there. I think this guy died recently, like couple years back, the lead singer. And then the guy in the end, they called him like the old man. He was a few years older. And I remember I bought this at the height of my Billy Joel fascination. I went into this old record store, had old records, and was flipping through, and then I go, Billy Joel section here, and boom, the Hassles came up. And I bought The Hour of the Wolf, which I, kept, and then I got this one at the same time. So I remember I had gotten paid, and I went down there and I used my pay to buy these two albums, and then I went home and I go, new Billy Joel material, I haven't heard it before, and I put on my turntable, which I got from my uncle from this lady who gave it to him, this old lady. She had a ton of stuff in her attic, gave him that, and then he gave it to me. So I went in my room and I played this like hundreds of times by the time I gave it away. And I don't know, I liked it. Released by United Artists. And it has an inside too. When you smell it, it smells like the attic. So this brings back memories. I was a young kid when I bought this, young, and I can't tell you the thrill I felt when I found something that I had never seen before by Billy Joel, or that he was involved in. And right off the bat, I loved it. I was like, this is awesome, this is so cool. And then The Hour of the Wolf, that's another Hassles album. I had bought these two together, and I went home and I heard them, and that one had The Hour of the Wolf, the song, a little bit creepy, but really enjoyed it. And then I gave it away to him, and I didn't even get a call back, and I was like, that was a waste. At least if I got a call back, it would have been worth it, but now I got it back. And this is an old one, this is not a reissue. That I will keep, I will not toss it to him. Right here I have Deliverance. I think I have another copy of this, but I'm a fan of the movie. Big fan. I love the movie. Deliverance. And then so when I was a kid, out of the blue, we never called up ahead of time, which, nowadays, I don't like it either. Unannounced visitors, you want to get a heads up. Say, hey, you gonna be around later? I'm coming by. Come by, I'll be around, but give me a heads up. Well, my father, when he was visiting his parents, my grandparents, he would feel like dropping by, he would just stop there. So I remember, at night, like Sunday nights, we'd go somewhere, and then he'd say, let's go visit them. So it would be like 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock or something, and we'd go ring the doorbell, and they were okay with it. They were old, they were happy to see us. And Sunday nights, my grandfather loved watching Lawrence Welk. Lawrence Welk. Not Lawrence of Arabia or any of that, but Lawrence Welk. Look at this. The back. So my grandfather and grandmother would be in the dark in the kitchen with the lights off and the TV going. Everything looked blue. Watching Lawrence Welk. And my grandfather would always say to me, that's a good man. And my mother would jump in and say, how do you know that? And he would say, you could tell, he's a good man. And on occasion I would watch it too. This says High Fidelity. So, my father, he would enjoy watching, the corny singers come out with their ridiculous looking suits, and the women with their dresses, the old-fashioned looking dresses. And then there was a Spanish lady singing. What was her name? She had like a gap in the front. And my father used to give his attention when she would come on, be like watching. I forget her name though. I want to say Conquistadora, but it's not. I could probably look it up. But anyway, she would come out and she would hold the microphone like this. It was all gentle singing. And then there was this couple. They've since divorced, and I think they live up here on the hills, the Hollywood Hills. He had like the fluffy Mike Brady haircut from Mike Brady on the Brady Bunch later on, when they all had like what looked like a perm, even though they denied having a perm. He had that hairstyle. She had that, she was all the haughty wife. And eventually they divorced and remarried, and that was it. But I used to enjoy watching them come out with their corniness. Sometimes corniness is entertaining, And then they had the other guy, the tap dancer, who would do his tap dancing stuff. So it was, and not too far from here is the studio they used to tape the Lawrence Welk show. I drive by there once in a while and I go, that's where the Lawrence Welk show was. I'm not even going to look, I can tell you it's LAPD. Now, Lauren Green, I saw this, I had to get it. I'm a big fan of Bonanza. Look at that. And then you get the back. You can freeze it if you want to look longer. Lauren Green, riding easy in the saddle, doing one great job. And Dan Blocker, he signed it, but he wrote the, I don't know what you call that, the forward on the album. So, guess Lauren Green wanted to sing. And I remember he did the theme, the Bonanza theme song with the lyrics and everything. So, yeah. And then if you wish to join the Lauren Green International Fan Club, that's when things were free. Please write to Linda Susan, P.O. Box 2656, Van Nuys, California. Yeah, back then they welcomed people. They wanted you to join a fan club, and as far as I know, most of them were free, if not all of them. I remember I had joined the $6 Million Man, the Lee Majors fan club, and that was free. I had sent in some information about myself, and then they sent me a few items, pictures and things like that. So, Lauren Green. Love that show, Bonanza. I don't know, something about it. And that introduced me to the concept of steak and eggs. Never knew that before until I saw an episode of Bonanza, and they went into the local saloon and they ordered steak and eggs. I said, steak and eggs? And then I started doing that once in a while, and it goes well together. Another singer I love listening to, Don McLean. This is when American Pie came out. He was in his prime. Now everybody knows the song American Pie, but the song Vincent, that's an awesome song. Very sad, especially when you know what it's about. I mean, it's obvious what it's about, but very sad, well sung, great vocalist. This guy is a great vocalist. So I got this, but the standout hit, of course, is American Pie, which was like 3 hours long. But for me, Vincent, beautiful song. And he's a great singer. I mean, if you can take on a Roy Orbison song and do a good job at it, you're a good singer. Great singer. And Vincent is not a Roy Orbison song. I'm talking about on another album. And here we go here with somebody that I really, really admire to this day. Oh, this is double plastic. So back in like 89, 90, I got into Muddy Waters like a lot. I listened to his stuff constantly. Big fan. I'm a big fan of the blues. There's so many beautiful artists with fancy nicknames. But there was a time when non-stop blues music for me. As a matter of fact, the place where I worked, I brought in a tape deck, tape player, whatever, and I converted all my CDs to tapes back then, and I played Muddy Waters wall to wall from beginning to end of the day. Some people would recognize, they go, oh, they get Muddy Waters there. I go, yeah. But most people had no idea who that was. So check that out. Oh, the back is a lot of writing. But one thing I wish, and this is in great condition, this album, but I wish that I was old enough when he was in his prime, touring and everything. I would have loved to have seen Muddy Waters. I love the way he plays guitar. I love the lyrics. I love the way he sings it. Just everything about it. You Shook Me. I love that song. I love all the versions of it, but there's one version of it that came out on the Chess box set. That version is my favorite. You Shook Me. Just when I first heard that, I was blown away by that song. You Shook Me. Just the way it starts off. And then you get his little vocal that comes in right after the first figure of the guitar. Put it in here so I don't ruin it. It's gonna be like this thing lasted decades and then I scratched it. So anyway, this was released, I don't know what year, we'll look it up. I love vinyl though. It's big, you know. They take pictures, the writing's big. Then they came out with these little CD things, they're like that big, picture small. It's not as exciting. You open up the little booklet with the lyrics. You need a trifocal thing to read them. This one here, you open it up and everything's big, including the cover. So, like I said, I was a huge fan, and still am. Muddy Waters, love Muddy Waters. So, that's it. Maybe I'll chew some gum now, but yeah. What else to do? Nothing. Try some gum. All right. That's it for now. Ciao.